Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it is something that is very near and dear to my heart. I am so excited to share it with you. I got a little bit vulnerable with you. Some of the layouts I'm going to show you today are things that have not been in some of my other bullet journal flip through videos. I usually just kind of edit the page out when I'm flipping through. Kind of been thinking recently just about my journey with my mental health. Just to give you a little bit of background, I won't get too much into it because I want to show you guys the layouts, but I am someone that has struggled with depression and anxiety. The earliest I can remember was middle school. I started going to therapy in high school, so it has been something that I've kind of grown up with and had experience with for a very long time. When I found bullet journaling, honestly, it was just amazing for me because it allowed me to have an outlet to be a little bit more creative, but not have to put pressure on myself for it to be perfect. I really found I've used so many different layouts for mental health and layouts to help me with my anxiety and depression. For today's video, I'm going to show you my top 5 bullet journal layouts for mental health, and they are very simple and easy, very minimalist layouts, so you don't need to be creative, you don't need to be artsy. They will simply be just for you and your journal. If you are someone that struggles with mental illness, I say this in the video, I could talk about it forever, but know that you're not alone. Know that there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you if you go to therapy. It is completely okay to feel how you feel. I could talk about that forever, but I won't. I want to get into these layouts so you guys can see them and check them out, and I hope that they provide some value to you. I hope that you get something from these layouts. I hope you try them out in your own journal. If you do, I would love to know which layout is your favorite, or if you already use these layouts, definitely drop a comment below. I would love to just hear what layouts work for you and maybe get some ideas of things that I could try out in my own journal. If you're not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I upload videos every single Tuesday and Thursday all about my bullet journal. I upload travel vlogs and lifestyle videos as well, so if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button. We just hit 200 subscribers, which I'm so excited about, you guys. I know that there's so many YouTubers that have like millions of subscribers, but I'm really excited that we hit 200 subscribers. So thank you so much if you are already subscribed. I think it's so awesome that you're choosing to subscribe to my channel and spend some time to hang out with me with my bullet journal and my travel vlogs and things like that. So thank you if you are already subscribed, and if you're not and you would like to hit that subscribe button. With that being said though, let's just go ahead and jump right in to my top 5 bullet journal layouts for mental health. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 bullet journal layouts for mental health. I'm going to be starting from 5 and counting down to my number 1 layout that I use for mental health. I'm going to be showing you these in my actual bullet journal. They're very minimalist bullet journal layouts, so they're very simple to do. I think that's really important when you're using your bullet journal for mental health, to keep things as simple as possible, so that way you don't get kind of a feeling of being overwhelmed with your bullet journal layouts. So let's jump right into it. So starting with number 5, this is a bullet journal layout that I would highly recommend. It's very simple to do, and it helped me so much start to focus more on the positives rather than consistently focusing on the negatives. One that I find really helpful is to create a layout for memory keeping. If you guys would like to see a whole video on how I do this, I do a lot of memory keeping in my bullet journal, and I do a very minimalist style. Drop a comment below and I'd be happy to make that for you if you're interested. Basically what I did here was I did 1 photo a week, then I just kind of journaled about it off to the side here. I just really like to do this because it helps me, especially if I get into a phase of anxiety or depression. It helps me to be able to flip back through my bullet journal and remember good things, because usually when I'm in that state of mind, I'm very focused on the negative. So I highly recommend memory keeping if you haven't already tried it. My number 4 layout that I would recommend for mental health is therapy notes. You may have seen layouts similar to this on Pinterest, but I have simplified it even further for my personal therapy sessions. So basically what I do is I just split the page in half. This side is things that I noticed during my session, and this side is things to implement or things to work on for next session. What I'll do is I'll just put the date at the top, and then I actually fill this out like in the car before I even leave the parking lot. I drew out these boxes before my therapy session, and then I wrote this out immediately after my therapy session in the car, and that way things are fresh in my head. This is really helpful to help you look back on in later months to kind of see how far you've come. It gives you more insight to to your thought process and your mind, help me stay more aware of what's going on during my therapy sessions. I'm a big believer in therapy. I know there's a bit of a stigma around that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with going to therapy at all. I truly believe that it can help anyone no matter what phase of life you're in. Anyways, I could go off on a rant about that, but I won't. This is really helpful for keeping track of your therapy and making sure that you're getting the most out of it. The third layout that I would highly recommend, this was extremely helpful for me when I was really struggling with my depression. This list was so helpful. I would recommend making a self-care list. You can see this is the easiest, most minimalist bullet journal layout ever. Just wrote self-care list, and then I took a different color, very bright colors, just to make it a little bit happier. And I just wrote a bunch of things that I know for a fact will make me feel better. And this doesn't necessarily mean you're like forcing your depression away or forcing your anxiety or whatever it is that you are struggling with. It's not necessarily that you're doing this to force it away, but this does help when you're getting in your head and that's all you can focus on. I know when you're really deep in the depression, it can be hard to want to do something. I've even put things that are very simple to do. So even just like drink a big glass of water or have some fruit or make a list of the things going right. Make a cup of tea and sip it slowly. So I have those smaller things that are easier to do when you're in that state of mind. And then if you're feeling a little bit better, you know, I have some other things in here that maybe take a little bit more energy, like get out of the house and make plans, read an uplifting book, bake something. And then I also put a couple things in here just to read. This one was always really helpful for me. Accept that it's okay to struggle sometimes. You don't always have to have everything under control or be 100% optimistic 24/7. This was so helpful. I really highly recommend creating a self-care list. So the next layout that I love using for mental health in my bullet journal is this what I love about myself. I will say this feels kind of silly at first. Everybody's got an inner mean girl, and when that inner mean girl would kind of take over any positive thoughts that I had about myself, I would turn to this page and it usually would help me at least quiet down the inner mean girl. It puts you in a good mindset too, because you're focusing on the good things about yourself rather than maybe the things that you're self-conscious about or that you struggle with. This is a great way to shift that focus to something more positive. This was just so important with helping me develop more self-confidence. Honestly, I love looking back at this page. I love referring to it. The entire time I was in this bullet journal, I was constantly looking at it on those days that I was really struggling with my self-confidence. Now we are to the number one bullet journal layout I would recommend for mental health. This has truly transformed my whole life and my mindset, along with my therapy and my mindfulness practice. So my number one layout is to keep a gratitude log. I believe in keeping things simple for my bullet journal, especially when it comes to mental health. Basically what I did here is I used 2 squares for each date. I have done a gratitude log every single month for honestly, I think almost 2 years. It's kind of crazy. Just finding one thing that you're grateful for every single day can truly change your life. A lot of times people aren't even thinking about that throughout their day, just stopping and appreciating what's around them. It's amazing to look back on those days that you really feel like you can't find things to be thankful for. Very small things, but there's still things that you found appreciation for that day. And I think that's so important. So this is definitely the number one layout I would recommend, especially if you're someone that struggles with depression like me. This was really helpful to get me focusing a little less on my feelings of depression that day and a little bit more on the positives. Just speaking from experience, these layouts in my bullet journal have really helped me learn to live with my mental illness and have really just taught me appreciate the good and the bad, the positive and the negative. And not that in any way that your mental illness is bad or is a negative reflection of your character, because it's not. It makes you who you are. Honestly, I'm someone that believes that you should own that. I hope you found these layouts helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. I upload videos every Tuesday and Thursday about my bullet journal. I also upload travel vlogs and lifestyle videos too, so if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on Thursday for my next video. Bye guys!